Hey everybody, and welcome back to Erlengrat. It is finally autumn, and we are now head in to our sunflower harvest. There's two more crops to go, sunflowers and corn, and then we will be done for our year 3 harvest, and pretty much done with our Erlengrat playthrough. So we're coming down to the very end, probably just about one more, maybe 2 more videos left after this one. Hope you guys have ultimately ended up enjoying the series, enjoying the playthrough. Hey, that Grimmy pack, man, that is an interesting DLC. Really cool. Really glad to see that finally come to light. That is something that I really feel the game has been missing, and I've said probably before that smaller, lower cost, well, more lower cost than smaller, but just potatoes has a very big barrier to entry. Beets have a little bit smaller barrier to entry, but still, they have a pretty big barrier to entry. Root crops in general are specialty crops, and as a result, you know, with potatoes, there's a special planter, there's a special harvester. They have different storage considerations if you're playing pseudo-realistically than other crops. So, you know, unless you're all in exclusive potato, then it's like having a whole set of equipment extra just for one crop. Because, you know, like this harvester, while we have different headers are much cheaper than the harvester itself, we can use this harvester to harvest all of our different crops that we've grown here on the map. You know, if you become a grain farmer and you're just exclusively doing grain crops, well, then you're doing even better, because then you have just one harvester and one header. Now, I need to go in here and fix this. For whatever reason, this header always seems to want to default to a larger working width than it really is. Well, this header is 6 meters, but it always wants to come in at, like, I don't know, 9 something for whatever reason. So we'll just get that taken care of. A little bit of cleanup work, but at any rate. And now we're at the end of our 3rd year. We would, if we were going to continue on, we would move into continue our rotation with corn on this field, sunflowers on the field that we had wheat on, and wheat on the field that we had corn on. Canola fields, we would figure out a rotation for them and figure out how they would fit into the whole deal. We're going to buy, before the end of the series, we will put down 2 more cow barns. We're going to have to take over some of the cornfield there in order to do that, but you know, if we were to play into year 4, we would have to have some place to continue to store our cows as they continue to grow, reproduce, as we get more cows giving us milk, which then means we're going to have more calves to deal with, and it's just a never enlarging operation at that point, until you just start selling off all the calves to try to maintain a certain number. But you know, we'd get more milk, we'd have more beef to sell, because we'd ultimately get some more male cows or calves born. And I have no doubt, since we're sitting nearly $450,000 now, We're going to be selling our sunflowers here today. That we would be in a position to own every field on this map by the end of our 4th year. No doubt, hands down, we would be, because, well, we own a fair number of extra fields now that we can plant. So we'll have that harvest come the end of year 4. We're going to have all the milk of our original cows, and now about 150 new female cows are going to be starting to give us milk as they birth out into year 4. So yeah, we're sitting pretty as a dairy farmer. It only took us 4 years to get here. You know, the first year we were doing a lot of contracts to get by with our money, but now it's pretty much sitting pretty. Don't really need to do too terrible much, other than just really focus on our grass work, maintain our hay supply, maintain our silage supply, continue to keep an eye on our straw levels. I'm going to go ahead and empty out the pipe. One thing I do need to remember is that pipe is a lot longer than you think. We need to be further away from the trailer than normal. There we go. Trailer's getting kind of full. And I think it is full. Take a look and see who wants to buy our sunflowers. Of course, Felsburn Mill, 858. And it's hard. Hard to deny the Felsburn Mill. 858. I don't know how many loads we're going to get. Sunflowers. Took this whole field to this point to get 30,000 liters. We only have our 2 fields. Yeah, the grimy potato pack got me thinking. Got me thinking about how I would incorporate that, how I would do that in the next play series, because, well, with seasons, they took out root crops for your pigs. So even if we were to grow our pig food and feed them as individual crops versus making them into pig food like we're doing now, still wouldn't be growing potatoes. So we would have to get into just a potato farming. Maybe that's all we do is grow potatoes, handle potatoes. Then at that point, you're really talking about a lot of volume of potatoes and smaller equipment. Talking about a lot bigger time investment unless we're doing it on a small Polish map. How about that? Yeah, a small Polish potato farming map. It might be an idea to venture on. I say so myself. Put in the comments, what do you think of becoming a small potato farmer in a Polish map? Think that might be interesting. Hope everyone's liking the new and noteworthies. An interesting new twist on mod reviews. Still trying to provide some level of detailed, in-depth coverage on the mods, but not covering every single mod out there. And then looking down at our little mini map, the yield on our sunflowers is outstanding. Look at that, we're getting really great yield. Out of our loam, out of all of our crop, all of our field here. We're getting the full max 125 in our loam. We're getting the max in our loamy sand and our sandy loam of 80% and 90% in our silty clay. So, you know, the previous harvest, we were a little low on our overall yield levels. For what it's worth, what we did as far as pH goes was pretty spot on, I guess. We were a little low on pH because we haven't applied lime to this field. 6.375 out of 6.5. We still listed as good on lime. Although we probably would put lime down at this point. The nitrogen levels are 120. Are our nitrogen levels being reduced? They are indeed going down. 120 there. Looks like they're dropping to 80. And we could come in here with soybeans and we wouldn't have to put any nitrogen on the field. Just put some lime down, plop some soybeans down. Let's check the rotation. And see. We put soybeans in here. So 0.95. But we wouldn't have to put any fertilizer down. And that would be very, very profitable. Just paying for seed. Slapping some lime down. Lime is cheap. And I mean, we're doing organic fertilization, so we're not really spending money on that, but we are spending time. Time is money in a farming standpoint for sure. So I like precision farming. I like what it brings. I don't mind that we're having some weird inconsistencies with grass. I'd like to see that cleared up for sure. But I don't necessarily mind it. It's not breaking my desire or my interest in precision farming. I like the variety that it introduces, the gameplay variety. You know, we're no longer in this every field I harvest, I lime, fertilize, I cultivate, I fertilize, I seed, I fertilize, it grows a little bit, I herbicide, and now I'm done. It breaks that up. You can do it different ways. You can apply organic fertilizer multiple times to get your nitrogen levels up. You can apply mineral fertilizer once and be done. Like I want to do a once and done thing. You could deliberately under apply your fertilizer on purpose. It's deliberate, right? You don't have to use the manual application on your mineral fertilizer. You could be like, I still want to do multiple applications. So I'm going to dial back the fertilizer. I'm going to pick manual, and I'm going to only apply a third of what I need to apply. And then it goes through a growth stage, or I do some field work, and I apply a third again of what I really need to apply. So now you have 2/3 of where you need to be. And then, you know, for your third application, you might like to apply spray fertilizer for your third application. And at that point, you might turn on auto mode, because at that point, you know, it would be applying just all it needed. Go ahead and fold up our header while we're in cab here and watch this really awesome animation going on here. Hold in the tips. That is really neat. Oh, I thought I brought out the pipe. Oh, and now look, I thought I was so far away. I was thinking, man, I'm way too far away, but no. Just perfect. Spread it out a little bit. And let's carry on to the next field. It's over by the biogas plant. See what we get out of off of that field. Honestly, forget which field it was. Really enjoying the side panel. Thanks, guys, for those that have been asking in Discord, and there were some comments about the side panel. It's definitely something I would suggest folks look into. I'm not saying that you got to buy it, but it's definitely worth possibly looking into if you're a keyboard and mouse player, for sure. Possibly even if you're a PC key or a PC controller player. You know, it gives you 26 or so extra buttons to set up, as opposed to maybe doing interesting key combinations, or keyboard, or not keyboard, but controller key combinations. But for me as a creator, I use the joystick a lot just for camera movements, because I can work on trying to, you know, use the joystick to slowly move the camera as if, you know, looking around, and it's far smoother than trying to use the mouse. So the biggest downfall for me is just remembering the keys. Remember the buttons, the button mapping. In the end, I probably am using maybe a third of the buttons that I've mapped because I just don't remember off the top of my head what the other buttons do. I do have a cheat sheet set up. But usually I don't have that open. And lined up. Fired up. Dive on in. And yeah, we're doing really good on this yield too. It might be hard to see on the PDA, on the video. Everything is shrunken down. But we're getting the dark green yield on this field. As we were a lighter shade of green from the harvest before. And something that we figured out in a live stream on Kleinhau a little while back was maybe we understand the economy screen a little better on precision farming. I'm thinking what it's showing us when it shows revenue or earnings. I think it's showing us the now current selling price average across the selling points for the crop that we're harvesting now. Okay? So when we get here to the end, I'm going to turn around and we're going to pull it up and show what's going on with that. All right, so let's look at this. So field 2, we just harvested field 2. And it might be a little weird because we've got, this is grass over here. Never reset this, so that's going to be a little more. It's going to be a little harder to see it. But total earnings, okay? We go here and look on this one. Total earnings is climbing, right? It's not that big of a number. Total earnings are climbing. Yield is going up. And basically where I think it's getting this number is it's taking the average of these three numbers, and then it's multiplying that average by the expected yield of the field. The yield I'm getting right now as I'm increasing the yield, okay? And it's getting then this number. So if we take the average, and let's figure up the average of this, okay? Of 858, 787, and 722. 789, right? It turned around. and take a look here. So let's say 55. Stop, so the numbers stop ticking up, okay? So let's take a look. 789 times 5733 is 4523. Says our total earnings is 4922. We take then, let's say 758 times 5733 is $4,918. So it's not the average, maybe it's the best selling price of the now current price for the current crop we're harvesting. And then that number is locked in stone. It doesn't update, it doesn't drop, it doesn't change. The game isn't keeping track of it. So the great mystery of the economy screen and the revenue value, has it been solved? Maybe. Maybe it has. I'm going to finish this field out and see what our yield is as far as our sunflowers go. Get those loaded up on a train, send them off to Felsburn, and oh by golly, make us some more money, because $8.58 is a pretty darn good price, I think, for the sunflowers. And then what that'll leave us is 3 fields of corn. We got this field here, corn. Now we got the field of corn that we purchased, field 19, down by the shop. And then we have field 4. Once we get field 4 cleared off of corn, we're going to have to put down some cow sheds to aid in our ever-growing cow population. So I'll see you guys in a few moments. Be a little bit longer for me IRL. So we didn't quite get 30,000 liters, I don't think, off of this field. Haven't filled the trailer, best I can tell. Know here in a moment. I did go ahead and put the rest of the crop from the other field in the other train silo, and that way we can put this in silo. And good. Okay, I was like, gosh, I hope I get it all in here. We'll put this in the silo right across from the farm. Then we'll need to go flag that train down. So we have probably about 63,000 liters, and about 35,000 liters off of that other field. So we should have a good payday at $800 and some per 1,000 liter. 50K or more than 50K. I don't know. Soon find out. do hope more people put in that do houses. Take Giants lead on designing the windows, the 3D kind of windows. It does help. I do like those. My feedback to Giants back in early January, earlier in the month, I mentioned to them that I thought the windows were really great, but one thing that I would like to have seen better is that some of the windows don't fit the building they are. Like, if you go and look through some of these windows, you have what looks like a bedroom. And clearly it's, you know, an office type building, so there wouldn't be a bedroom there. Alright, so I saw the train go by. We're going to have to wait on the train. Get him flagged down and sell off our crop. Did anybody ask for a train? I believe we should have one coming out of the tunnel any moment now. See if we can hitch a ride. Oh no, I missed it. On my flash boots. Brake, slow down. Slow down. Open up the rear door on that car. There we go. $35,000 lettries. Sunflowers there. $28,000 liters of sunflowers in the building up here. And then see what we get for it. Whoever thought they would let a farmer drive a train. I mean, really. Pretty crazy. Pull on in the station. See where we are. 64,000 liters of product. drive through town. I really am looking forward to the next farm sim and seeing the maps that they come out with. I mean, I think this map is I think if you compare this map to Ravenport or even Felsburn, you definitely feel that there's some advancement in there between those three maps. You look at 17, then you look at the 19 maps, and then you look at this map and you think, man, oh man, oh man, there'll be some really interesting stuff possibly coming in whatever is the next thing. Let alone the fact that the assets from this map will be available to map makers in the next thing. All right, let's see what we get. For 64,000 liters of sunflowers. Yes. $55,000. Nice. So $500,000 more income. If we were to buy land, we could buy these two plots pretty easily. Buy these plots up here. So yeah, very, very easily we would own every piece of farmland by the end of year 4. If we decide to have done that. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Erlengrat in general? Did you play anything in Erlengrat? Did you enjoy your playthrough? And until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.